Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the.
Every team in the NFL needs their version of Eric Thomas. And for those of you who don't know, Eric Thomas just so happens to be the greatest motivational speaker in all the world. He's a motivational speaker that's able to rally the troops, and he's a motivational speaker that is able to resonate with the room and speak to the room. And what I mean by that is his ability to really capture people's attention and draw them in. And now, while the Seahawks have a couple of alpha males in the locker room, in Russell Wilson, and Bobby Wagner, and Jamal Adams, there's one thing that they're all lacking. And that's no disrespect to any of those guys, but in today's installment, we're going to discuss why the Seahawks have to bring back Kam Chancellor as a coach. But before we get into that, if you're new to this channel, and if you haven't already, be sure to show a couple brothers some love. Hit that subscribe button for us. Join the team, join the family. Don't forget to also leave us a like, drop a comment if you enjoyed. And for more SteezyBandz content, don't forget to find us on all social media platforms at SteezyBandz. Without further ado, you're tuning to SteezyBandz, and let's get to cooking. As I mentioned earlier, Russell Wilson, while he's an alpha male, he's not the type of alpha male that's gonna get in your face and rally the troops. He's gonna uplift you a little bit, but as we saw in the LA Rams playoff game last season, when DK Metcalf was going on a temper tantrum, he didn't check DK on the sidelines, he let him be, and on the next play, he force-fed him the ball, which led to a pick six and ultimately to the Seahawks' demise. And while Bobby Wagner is the heart and soul of the defense, you don't compare him to Ray Lewis. He's just not that type of guy that's going to uplift your defense, that's going to rally the troops, and it's going to ultimately motivate his defense, make game-changing, game-clinching, and game-winning plays. And with Jamal Adams, while he is feisty, while he's fiery, while he's still young, and while he has similar traits to Kam Chancellor, I'm worried that he doesn't have enough time spent with organization, and I'm just worried that he's not able to flex his muscles like a Kam Chancellor will be able to do. And yes, a couple years ago, Kam Chancellor shut down any coaching speculation whatsoever. He effectively told KGRG, so I never close any doors. I always keep everything open because you never know where life is going to take you. But right now, I don't see it. While he did say right now I don't see it, let's keep in mind that was 2 years ago. And Kam Chancellor, not only was he the heart and soul of the Legion of Boom, he was the boom in the Legion of Boom. And he was the captain, the heart and soul of those very defenses that initiated fear all across the league and that helped the Seahawks become one of the best defensive units in all the NFL's history. And not only is he going to bring that to the table, he's going to be able to rally the troops and help to check a guy like DK Metcalf. He's going to be able to check all these guys in ways that Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner, and Jamal Adams just aren't able to do. And while that remains to be seen with Jamal Adams, why not bring in an integral piece of the successful Legion of Boom defenses from back in the days and bring him on as a coach? There is a former Legion of Boom member in Deshaun Shedd, who is a player turned coach, and he has spent a year so far with the Seahawks as a DB's coach. And seeing as how the Seahawks are a couple of pieces away, if not a piece away from being true title contenders in the NFL, maybe Kam Chancellor sees that as an opportunity to kind of finish the unfinished business that he had in Seattle. Seeing as how his career abruptly ended in 2017 because of a neck injury, well, who wants to go out like that? And while coaching might not be the ideal situation to return to the field, well, it kind of is what he has right now as an option. And while the Seahawks don't necessarily need another assistant coach, what they need is a voice that's going to be the heart and soul, that's going to be able to inject energy into the locker room. Former defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, now defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, spoke glowingly of Kam Chancellor's ability to potentially coach in the near future. Here's what he had to say a couple of years ago. I know whatever he will do, I'm hopeful that it involves a leadership role. If that involves coaching someday, which I think he would be excellent at, whatever it is, my hope is that he has a chance to impact people because that is one of his most amazing gifts, this connection that he has with others. When you're in his presence, you feel really special. Not only that, there's also a couple of players on the Seahawks roster that resemble some of Kam Chancellor's hard hits and his aggressive play style. As I mentioned, Jamal Adams has that feisty, fierce playing style, but let's also not forget, Kam Chancellor personally took Ryan Neal, who emerged as one of the breakout players of the Seahawks practice squads, and Marquise Blair into his wings. There were reports and there were images of Kam Chancellor helping Marquise Blair on the field before his torn ACL in week 2 of last season. Not only do they have similar playing styles, but what better instructors for them to have than the guy whose playing styles that they resemble? And with Ryan Neal, He came out of nowhere to compile 40+ tackles and 2 interceptions with the Seattle Seahawks last season. We all remember his game-clinching interception against Dak Prescott in Week 3, and we also remember his interception against the Miami Dolphins in Week 4 in Miami. And so if he's already taking these players under his wing, then why not take the next step and actually be on the sidelines and coach these Seattle Seahawks? People will also remember his play on the field, his resume, his all-pro seasons, his Pro Bowl seasons, all of his tackles, his sacks, forced fumbles, tenacious hits and whatnot, but people also forget that he was the captain of the defense. There were names like Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner, Richard Sherman, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, but yet who was the captain of those very teams? Who was the voice of those very teams? Who carried the boom in the Legion of Boom? It was Kam Chancellor. And so not only did he provide spectacular play on the field, he was a savant off the field. And so you combine his smarts, you combine that with his ability to motivate teammates, you combine that with his ability to inspire teammates, you combine that with his ability to uplift teammates, and you combine that with his ability to check teammates if they ever cross the line. Well, I see it as a win-win for both the Seattle Seahawks and for Kam Chancellor. It gives them an opportunity to finish unfinished business, and it gives the Seahawks that ultimate voice in the locker room that when stuff hits the fan, well, Kam Chancellor is going to be there in the locker room to hopefully put an end to it all. So with all that aside, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you want to see Kam Chancellor come back to Seattle in a coaching role, or do you think that ship has sailed away? Well, that concludes this video. You don't have to stop watching there. Plenty of other content on our channel homepage, as well as the rest of our social medias at Steezy Smith, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Nothing but love, and Steezy out.